Jackson says that it costs around $45 to house someone in jail for a day. He says it costs around $10 to $15 to have them on house arrest. Cowan was riding with his 11-year-old stepdaughter when the accident happened. She was taken to the hospital and treated for her injuries. In the past, stolen items and fights could become a he said, she said, but now there's an electronic eye watching and administrators can access it from almost anywhere. Now, Chief Fletcher says he's included funds in the 2016 budget to try to drive more minorities into police uniform. Right now, the county's in charge of running the Hamilton County Jail that's behind me, but that could soon be the job of a private contractor. Live at the courthouse, Hannah Lawrence, News Channel 9. The barn behind me is rusted and old, but right now painters are up there updating what they say is a landmark full of history. A fresh coat of paint on one of the few barns left that look like this.
Anything that we can do to keep them going, that's what we're trying to do.
Elsie Buhally says her husband picked this plot of land almost 30 years ago because this barn was here.
We were looking for a place. And when my husband saw the barn, he said, okay, this is it. I said, oh, honey, but it doesn't have a house. Oh, I have a house for you in 6 months. I said, okay.
She says it took a little longer than 6 months, but she and her husband built this house from the ground up.
First of all, he would cut the trees and then roll it down, and he would slice it on his sawmill and then let it dry and then put it up.
Nearly 15 years later, just before the house was complete, Buhally's husband passed away.
I didn't see the books. The books came out after he passed away.
She finished the house herself, and these were published featuring her Rock City barn just a few years later. So that one's more of like a drawing of it.
But this is the real thing.
Roy Davis with Rock City says the barn was painted close to 60 years ago.
It been featured in Southern Living and was originally painted in 1959.
Buhally says it's been touched up a few times since then. She says it's her way of keeping her husband's dream alive.
He grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania, so he always wanted to go back to a farm.
Rock City says there are 80 barns left to their knowledge like this one. Reporting in Crossville, Hannah Lawrence, News Channel 9. It's all part of a nearly $2 million update to video surveillance system in the 78 Hamilton County schools. Today, developers unveiled the first completed system to administrators at Brainerd High School. Principal Uris Agee says as of today, he and his staff have eyes on a lot of ground at Brainerd High School that they didn't before.
More of the parking lots, more of some dead spot areas, back of the school, out toward the football field.
In the past, stolen items and fights could become a he said, she said, but now there's an electronic eye watching and administrators can access it from almost anywhere.
You can see it on your Apple device, you can see it on the Android, you can see it on the Chrome or your regular desktop computer.
Even when he's not at work.
Once you log in, it saves it.
Assistant Superintendent Lee McDade says the new system costs around $43,000 to install here. He says the school now has 49 working cameras in comparison to the 30 malfunctioning ones before.
You know, if you can narrow down a time frame to when you know something happened, this camera system will take you back to that time frame and show you when something happened.
McDade says the county hopes to have the rest of the Hamilton County schools updated within the next year. Josh.